I want to start off by saying how really thrilled and honored I am to be here amongst all of you tonight. Some very, very amazing people. Some of you, all of you, winners of the Equator Prize. What you have done is truly fantastic, and the example that we need as we fight climate change and environment destruction around the world. We all know by now the value of the forest. We've heard about it tonight. We know it provides what we call services. And we know too the downside. When forests are destroyed, these amazing lungs of the world that breathe out oxygen and absorb CO2. And when they're destroyed, the CO2 emissions going out into the atmosphere is one of the main causes of global warming. And we know too that as the forests are destroyed, there is a loss of biodiversity, there is a shrinking of fresh water supplies, the desert tends to encroach upon the forest as the forest fringes are cut down. We know all this, and it's true that there's about 6.5 billion people living in and around forests who to some extent depend on forests for their continued well-being. And of these, about 6 million are the indigenous people. I've worked with indigenous people in 6 countries, and I have enormous respect. We find that in those forests where indigenous people have land rights and government support, there tend to be forests that are well managed and healthy. And some of those who have won the prizes tonight have shown that a healthy, well-managed forest can lead to economic improvement and to healthy people living there. Sadly, so many indigenous people are being forced out of the forest. They're being forced out by governments who sell concessions to the extractive industries. And some of you fight, and you fight bravely, to stay, to hang on to your land, to protect the forest. And we, the rest of us who care about the future of the planet and the future of our great-grandchildren, we must stand with you. We have so much to learn from you. And for many of the indigenous people that I've worked with, the forest is more than just the services it provides to us. It is a way of a spiritual connection with Mother Nature. The indigenous people I know have great respect for the forest, and they practice a certain wisdom whereby they make decisions thinking not about how it will benefit them now, although that comes into it, but how will this decision affect our people 7 generations ahead? And this is the kind of wisdom that we must absorb. It's the kind of wisdom we need to fight climate change. It's the kind of wisdom we need to somehow force into our governments and into the big corporations so that carbon emissions are reduced. And as we all know, saving the rainforest, protecting and restoring the rainforest is one way that this can happen. And so, because I love the forest, I have spent so many years of my life in the forest. I love it. It isn't just the services it gives, it's just in and of itself the most magical place. So I wanted to end by bringing a voice from the forest into this space. I can't play the wonderful instruments that some of you indigenous people play, nor the chanting that you do, but I can bring the voice from the Gombe forest. The chimpanzees of Gombe are with you.